How's everyone doing? This is Jeremy here. Consciousness awake, sending positive energy to you, like always, through the etheric realm, where we can make more of an energetic impact on one another, as opposed physically. Hope everyone's doing good. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a video about these certain type of parasites. There's different types of parasites in the astrals and etheric realm, and as above, so below. There's parasites here in our physical reality, in our physical plane, just like there are in these entities, just like there are in the non-physical. It's part of the larger reality system. And it's just something that I learned to accept after a while. Now, before I get into this video about the Archon parasites, before we get into the Archon parasites specifically, I have a note here. I want to say something before we jump into the video. For a lot of us here in the Consciousness Awake community and other communities, and I'm speaking for me as a person who has out-of-body experiences, does astral projection, and for all the other astral projectors out there, as we experience more and more OBEs, our fear of the unknown, our fear of what's on the other side, etc., all those anxieties and fears diminish as you have more and more out-of-body experiences. So what naturally happens is, in my opinion, is as for myself and for others that I know personally, we have more experiences and we just kind of naturally raise our vibrational frequency as we go along. And so a lot of these certain types of entities or parasites, maybe some negative beings, they are what they are, they do what they do, but they are at a lower vibrational frequency themselves. So these Archon parasites also, they basically exist in a lower vibrational frequency. Now, some people, while they're in their human suits, our consciousness in these human bodies, we fluctuate from lower frequency range to higher vibrational frequency, depending on our days, depending on our mind state, depending on our a lot of other influences, factors around us, etc. And so, but more or less, naturally, as consciousness, as a soul, we raise our vibrational frequency by a lot by having these out-of-body experiences multiple times. It's a natural byproduct, a natural component to it. And so as we get more out of our bodies, we become less susceptible to parasitic entities or attacks or things attaching to our auric field, etc. Not that it never happens, it still happens here and there, but for the most part, think your OBEs become much more positive and very positive as you have more of them. It's only when I was young, as a teenager, that I have more anxiety and fear energy, lowering my vibrational frequency when I was having my out-of-body experiences, making myself more susceptible to certain entities, parasites, astral spiders, snakes, more of the astral etheric spider realm, that kind of thing. But these Archon parasites are parasitic. They attach to the auric field. They attach directly in through the solar plex chakra. The reason why they attach into the solar plex chakra, that's where they engage to feed off of your life force and your energy, is because once they do that, they can get into your subconscious mind and manipulate you through your subconscious mind. And also, it destabilizes the chakra, the major chakras below the solar plex, because the solar plex is your third major chakra, and it destabilizes the first and second chakra, messes with its vibrational frequencies, and it also messes with the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, everything around you energetically. It destabilizes other parts of you. And then once it does that, it enters into your subconscious state, giving you depressive thoughts, giving you manipulating your emotions. Also, if it can't attach to somebody who is at a higher vibrational frequency, it attaches to other people around you, and then it manipulates them, and then in turn can try to get at you, right? So we experience these types of situations all the time in our life, when you really think about it. We just have to do our best to avoid those things, or stay away from them. But yeah, so Archon parasites. I believe at this point, from all of my experiences, research, everything, talking to shamans, talking to other people, there is an AI component to these types of parasites, and these Archon parasites are connected to a larger AI system, which is probably more in like the 6th or 7th dimension. I don't know exactly. I don't think anybody really knows exactly what dimensional level this particular type of AI resides in. And also, these Archon parasites, what they look like are they're darker. They're dark brown, sometimes black. They're slimy. They have a slug, kind of snake-like look to them. Some are smaller, some are bigger. Like I mentioned, they attach in through the solar plex chakra within your auric field. And they also manipulate, they can go in between different dimensions. They can move through the astral planes, etheric plane, interact with the physical plane. They can move through, they're multidimensional, they know how to move back and forth. I believe it's because they originate at a higher up dimension, and it's just all different layers, layers and layers and layers, and they're able to come down into the layers down below. But again, like I said before, when I started this video, they're more prone to going after certain beings, even if they're beings that are not in this Earth reality construct. Other beings in other reality constructs too are susceptible to this, and they attach mainly to something that's lower vibrational frequency. So, keeping your vibrations higher, vibrational frequency high, and using your willpower, like to will it. You're using willpower energy to stir up your vibrational frequency in tandem with that. That's super important. But we're going to talk more about that in just a second. So I want to talk about my own experience when I was younger with an Archon parasite. I become consciously aware while in sleep paralysis. I'm a teenager at that time. I think I'm about maybe 16 years old, maybe 17 at that time. I wake up into sleep paralysis. Not wake up, I just become consciously aware. With my consciousness wakes up while my body is in sleep paralysis. And immediately I notice something just sucking life force out of I didn't know it was a solar plex then. I didn't know anything about chakras then, but now I can understand it. And out of my solar plex, this annoying sucking, pulling of energy kind of feeling, just draining me. And I remember accidentally, I don't know if it was my left or right energy body hand. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember exactly. But with one of my hands, I remember taking the hand and just moving it over to where my solar plex chakra is, and immediately I feel this like gooey, kind of slimy tentacle arm, something, and it's going right into my solar plex. And I can literally feel it with my energy hand. And that was really freaky. That was a really scary experience for me. I didn't know what to make of it. And it was scary. But what happened was, it was almost like telepathically, whatever that now I'm configuring that was definitely what we would call, or as we labeled, a Archon parasite. It like knew that I felt that arm or tentacle, whatever was going into my solar plex, and then it just stopped. It stopped and it just went away. And I remember in that sleep paralysis state, looking over, because you can't move, but my vision, with my I guess my etheric vision or astral vision, it wasn't my human vision, and I kind of look over to the left side of me, and I can see these like kind of a white glowing strands or cords or tentacles moving out from the side of the house, going up to a pretty decently large, like UFO vehicle, something hovering in between the houses. And it was kind of over, and it was almost like it was actually not only going in to where I was in my bedroom and doing that to my solar plex, but these tentacles or cords, whatever they are, they're so big and long, and they were going into like other houses and stuff too at the same time. So I was able to really see it, and then it just zipped away. It's almost like they just do that kind of thing when like you're in sleep paralysis, because you're kind of in that REM state and real deep sleep cycles, and like 5 or 6 hours into sleep when you're hitting that the heaviest REM cycles, and you're getting really into the sleep paralysis mode with your physical body. It's almost like they do that then. That's what my intuition's saying. They also, what I want to mention is this type of AI, this type of Archon parasite, it's connected to the overall AI system in whatever dimension it's in. Also can manipulate and attach to like these controlling reptilians. So some of these bad reptilians and these controlling reptilians, they can be manipulated on a subconscious state, and through the subconscious mind, just like how they can manipulate a human through our subconscious mind. So there's that too, which I wanted to mention, unless I have already mentioned that in the video so far. Right now we're at 13 minutes. I want to discuss something real quick. Beating or not allowing these kind of parasitic entities to affect your auric field, through willpower, through the ability within ourselves to have a positive mentality, raise our vibrational frequency. All those kinds of things make us way less susceptible to these kinds of attacks. And so realizing that when you get new thoughts, like depressive or bad, negative emotions or thoughts, that just come out of nowhere into your mental space, to recognize that, and it's like coming from nowhere, and you override it with your consciousness, and you replace those thoughts with something positive, or you just get busy with some particular thing you have to do. You don't feed into it at all. So these types of these parasites can only be very powerful if they can match your vibrational frequency like really closely. It doesn't have to be exact match, but real close. So also the knowledge of the existence of these types of things in non-physical, how they affect our energy body in us, right? So the knowledge of it, is good. That way and the acceptance of it is good. Increasing your own willpower over your own thoughts and emotions, and controlling your emotions in your mind is good too. Also, what a friend of mine who's a shaman suggested was whenever you feel like there's certain negative entities, Archon parasite, astral spider, just a poltergeist, anything like that. His suggestion was get 4 large buckets of water and mix in 1 pound of sea salt, not regular salt, not table salt, sea salt specifically, and stir it in the buckets, and then put a bucket at each corner of your bed before you go to sleep. And do it like an hour before you go to bed. That way, after about an hour or two, just the air, the molecules in the air around your bed and whatnot will start attaching to the sea salt vapor, the sea salt that's going into the air. And then apparently these, especially these Archon parasites, do not like salt water. So that's just some recommendation that was told to me. I've never done it myself because, as I said at the beginning of the video, I've raised my vibrational frequency up enough to where I don't really run into too much negativity and stuff like that. So, and there's so much more to talk about, guys. Really, this whole topic on this is so vast, is very complex. It could take hours and hours. But let me know in the comments how you feel about all this stuff, if you want to go deeper into this stuff. I also had a... well, there's just so much to talk about, honestly. But anyways, love you guys all. Sending you positive vibes, as always, through the etheric plane. We're at 1711. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.